Morning. This morning I'm going to be talking about the difference between PR and marketing. Ever since the arrival of the internet, the lines between the two have become increasingly blurred. So let's start with an official definition. The CIM defines marketing as the identifying, anticipating and satisfying of customer requirements profitably. So from that definition alone, you can see how broad it is, and it's much more than just promotion. PR is an element of the marketing mix, so it's not as broad, and it's concerned with generating positive reputations. It's about influencing behaviour and opinions, and there's a clue in the name of it. PR stands for public relations, so it's about the relationship you build with your public. There's the age-old debate. People get so hung up on which activity belongs in what box, whether it's marketing or PR. For example, social media. And it can be both. It depends how you use it, or it depends on the reaction or response that you're aiming for. For me, an easier way to define kind of marketing and PR is about the reaction you get, and whether you get a physical reaction or an emotional or psychological reaction from it. An example of that. For example, a lot of marketing is about clicking on things, clicking on a link, clicking on the buy now button. It might be about picking up the phone. It's evoking a physical response with the overall aim of making a purchase. It might even be as simple as setting a reminder so that when your contract renews, you can renew with this other company because you've seen a great offer. Whereas PR, it's about those emotions that you feel when you see a brand message, or you see even a social media post. It's about storing away memories with these hopefully positive emotions or strong associations that make you remember the brand. And perceptions that are all so unique to us. They're based on our past experience and our unique take on the world. And there's usually no action generated because it's just a change in mindset about a brand, so it makes it incredibly hard to measure. I'd definitely say that marketing activity is a lot easier to measure. So going back to the social media example, it can be used for both. It can be both a PR and marketing tool. So an example of using it for PR is to share, say, a tweet, for example, about a donation that you've just made for charity. People seeing that will hopefully feel a warm, fuzzy response to that, and it make them more likely to feel positive associations with that brand. Whereas a marketing tweet, for example, might be an offer code. We're running a special promotion in April, here's the unique offer code, and the physical response to that will be people jotting it down or going online straight away to enter it and making their purchase. It's not just social media that is a crossover. Even if you look at a press release, which typically is a very kind of public relations orientated activity, but we've had clients that have sold thousands of pounds worth of products or services just from seeing a press release alone. So it can also have a marketing effect, and that's brilliant if it combines both. If you look, another example is the Tesco advert yesterday about them encouraging people to go to the local pub, sit in a beer garden rather than buying their beer. If you look at an advert, if you wanted to put it in a typical marketing or PR box, it would usually go in the marketing box. But actually, that advert evoked a positive emotion from the majority of people, thinking, oh, isn't this great? They're encouraging people to use pubs. So it actually was used more as a PR tool. So yeah, just a couple of examples. Obviously, it's not as straightforward as that. There's always going to be blurred lines between the two. But there's just a few examples and my take on PR and marketing and the differences.